another installment of Guerin Catholic Football here on the Indiana Sports Radio Network. And it was a little bit of a delay. We touched on it right before we headed on to sending it back to the studio, Justin. It's one of those situations where a lot of construction around that 465 loop, a lot of construction everywhere you look in the entire loop of Indianapolis made the trip here a little bit difficult for the Eagles. They do not fly. They do have to ride in a bus. They
Really?
did make it though. Just a little bit later than intended. Very nice of the Columbus North faithful to decide we'll push back start time. Supposedly, I heard from a little birdie they pushed back start time last season
I
as
was going
well.
to say, yeah, it seemed like that Columbus North had the same problems last year, and so Guerin gave them that 15-minute window, and Columbus North reciprocated it tonight. But everybody is here, everybody is accounted for, and we're ready for week 5. And Brent, happy opening day.
Happy opening day. For what? Me and you?
Yeah, well, no, not only for me and you, but Nick Castellanos of the Chicago Cubs always says treat every day like opening day.
Song
So
comes on, I think it's Ice Ice Baby.
Cubs fans, everywhere you look in
It's
Indiana
the
sports
same
radio,
beginning
network,
for those
I'm not a
songs.
big fan of it myself, but we let it pass through. This
Really?
is a big game.
No, it's not.
It's
It's
here at
so
Columbus North High School. If you look at the game last season, this is only the second time these two teams have faced each other.
Okay.
A 6A versus a 3A. The 3A team being Guerin Catholic, 6A team being Columbus North. Yet last season it was Guerin who won at home 17-10. And I have a budding star in the broadcast sphere that was at the game last year. Was telling me a little bit about how it was a dogfight back and forth. That all of a sudden at the very end, Christian Geloff decided to make a move, make the decision to have a game-winning drive, and then the defense held the rest of the way, and it was a 17-10 victory. We're expecting a lot of a similar, very close game in tonight's game.
yeah, and we mentioned Geloff there. So far on the year, he has 547 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, but none of that really impresses me as much as his completion percentage. He's just under 69% on the year. So, it's going to be interesting to see if he can keep that type of pace up here in week 5 against a much bigger 6A school in Columbus North, or they're going to have to ride Baumgartner, who has 601 yards on the ground with 7 touchdowns.
Welcome to Guerin Catholic Football, and tonight we are here in Columbus, Indiana, and tonight's a beautiful night as Guerin Catholic is going to be playing Columbus North High School, 3A school versus 6A school. There's not much more you can do to sugarcoat this game. This game is prime time. It's big time. Last year, Guerin Catholic won, and tonight you are here with Matthew Wagner as your announcer and with his assistant,
Maris Bolger.
of course. And so we did the first game of the year together, and since then we haven't done it. This is our rebuilding game, and tonight, who are you looking for to be that star against the 6A school?
Well, we have an overall pretty good team, but our running back,
Gus Baumgartner, he is incredible.
He seems to be killing it every game, so I feel like he'll come through this game as well.
And so Guerin Catholic is going to be receiving first. Columbus North deferred, and so as we get this kickoff to go, it is up, and Patrick Schramm, the freshman, will be returning this one, and he fumbled it. And that was a muffed kickoff, and it looks like it's going to be recovered by Columbus North. And it's Columbus North football to start the game. Special teams has not been a good thing for this team, and right there you can tell that's been our season so far. The muffed kickoff, and it's going to be Columbus North offense first. And this Columbus North offense is led by the sophomore, number 14, Luke Hammonds. Hammonds, he's been beating out some other quarterbacks. And can he keep this momentum that this Bulldogs team has kind of built up so far? That's what we're about to see.
And he is still just a sophomore.
He is just a sophomore. So it looks like they have a quarterback keeper for the first run. And, I mean, they're under center for that first one, inside the 20-yard line. Any thoughts so far? As we are only 2 plays into this game, and obviously they just got 3 yards on that first run, and it was a quarterback keeper.
Well, since we are only 2 plays in, there's not a whole lot to say quite yet, but I would say that the special teams would need to step up their game a little bit.
That's going to be something for this game, and so that ball was just handed off to their running back, number 34, Blake Huffman. Huffman's a junior, 5'7", 175, and we are going to be watching. I think he's going to have a big game tonight for this Columbus North team, but we're going to have to see what works out there. And now number 34 or number 8 is their running back, but they do a play action, and Nick Demas comes into the backfield and sacks Huffman, he sacks number 14 Hammonds back at the 25-yard line, and that was a big play right there. That's going to bring up 4th down. And this defense has been the big thing for this team so far this year. They've been making big stops, big time plays, and you just saw it right there.
That was great.
So now, after that 9-yard sack, that's going to bring up a field goal for number 13, Carter Ward, He is the kicker and the punter for this team. And this one is up, and it is short. That did not get much air under it. It might have been tipped. I do not know, but it was no good. Clean slate. Guerin, we got a break on that.
We sure did.
So back out on this one.
Guerin Catholic.
Anything you need to see?
What?
Is there anything you need to see as they start off this drive? Do you need to see a good run game, good pass game, some play action?
All of the above.
Okay, I guess that...
Whatever gets us to the end zone, Matthew.
I guess that's good. So this first play, Christian Gelov is going under center with Gus Baumgartner in the backfield, and we are sorry if you're experiencing technical difficulties with the video. We are sorry about that. And this first one is a handoff to Baumgartner, and Baumgartner gets about 2 yards, 2 to 3 yards. And he is tackled at about the 22, 23-yard line, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and 7. So you said this run game, and with Baumgartner, he was one of your big players of this game. Do you think he will have a big game, or do you think he'll get shut down?
I think he has the potential to have a great game.
I agree. And so Gelov is
But-
looking to the right, and this is a pass up to McGinnis. McGinnis makes that was an incredible catch on this defensive backer, Hunter Husser. And that's McGinnis right there. Last week he had a Moss catch over Burbuff, and that was a great catch right there.
This is really his time to shine.
It is. And so Gelov is now in shotgun with Baumgartner to his right on the right hash, and they hand it off to Baumgartner going left. Baumgartner's trying to get outside, but loses yards in doing so, and loses about 2 yards, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and 12. And that is not the potential's there. I didn't see a hole there, but
not so much.
execution was poor there. We are on the 40, about 5-yard line of our own 45-yard line, I should say, going into Columbus. So it's not terrible field position right now, but in a second and 13, not great field position. And so with Gelov now this time going under center, it appears they are now making changes with 8 minutes.
5 and number
And so the
25.
clock is running down real quick, the play clock, and Gelov gets it off in time and hands it off to Baumgartner. Baumgartner gets about 4 yards. And with this running game, I know you're planning on seeing a lot. Do you want to see outside or inside more?
Well, they've been going up the inside, and they haven't gained much yet. So maybe if they try a couple different tactics, then it would work out. A little bit of both.
I think that's a
But
great idea.
In comparison to the last game, number 2, McGinnis has been showing more potential and seems to be doing better than the running game.
And so Gelov this time throws it into the flat to Baumgartner, and Baumgartner gets about back to the line of scrimmage, loses a yard, but that's going to bring up 4th down
Stumbled around there a
and
little bit.
our punt team. And our punt team, well, actually special teams in general, has not been our game this year, something we need to focus on. And this game, number 44, our senior, our captain, Tom Hokinson, is out to punt. And so this is his first time punting in a game. We're going to have to see how he does it this time, but special teams has been a struggle. So Hokinson is he's deep, and he kicks this one. It's got some good length to it, and it's muffed
Stumbled.
by Husser. And Husser, he gets taken down at the 31-yard line, and that's going to bring up a 1st down for the Bulldogs. And that tackle was made by Adam Novelin and Elijah Edwards. And so that's not a bad special teams outing right there for Guerin Catholic.
No,
Can
it's
that
not.
continue through the rest of the game? Any predictions?
If they keep going at this rate, then I'd say we've got a pretty good chance of increasing the quality of their play so far. And the first one was a little rocky, but that one was pretty good. So let's hope it keeps getting better.
So this time, Hammond's pass is over the middle, but it was barely hit the ground. Ryan Glenn, number 86, had decent coverage there. The ball was thrown short, so Glenn tried to make a play on the ball, just went through his hands. He could not get that one, and so that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10. With this team, we've seen a little variety, but with the last time they had great field position, just did not play or did not execute well. Do you see execution on this drive? So this time, oh my goodness, that was a fumbled snap by number 14 Hammonds
Guerin
and
Catholic has
number 28 Jagger Albert, the junior linebacker, fell on it.
recovered
There
the
was
ball.
clearly no
Guerin
execution on that
Catholic
drive.
ball. No, there was not.
And so,
Good for us.
yeah, this has been eventful so far. 2 turnovers for each team, and now we have the ball at the 29-yard line.
About
Sadly,
6
this is not
minutes
quite 6 minutes and 40
57
seconds.
yeah.
About there. And so this time we are not actually in field goal position, but if we can gain some yards, we will be. So Gelov's under center, and he
Hand it off
does
to
not
Baumgartner.
hand it off, and he's looking
Play
deep.
action.
Dominic Ferrucci over the top, just
Bit
too much
far.
over the middle.
Bit too far.
Do you see Ferrucci playing a role in this game? He has not had many targets so far this year, but he's a quick player, and he's got some nice hands.
Yeah, if the pass was just wasn't right there. There's also some pretty good coverage on that running, so maybe I feel like later on, maybe throughout the game, he will have more chances to shine.
So Gelov is back in shotgun with Baumgartner to his left, and man in motion is Braden Hall, number 25, the junior, and it's handoff to Baumgartner, and Baumgartner got maybe a yard. But they're saying no gain, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. Clearly, actually, that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10, excuse me, after that first down incompletion. What do you see on this 3rd down play?
Well, once again, they went right up the middle, and they didn't get very far. So maybe gotta shake it up a little bit. Try a different approach. Maybe go to the outside instead of right up the middle.
I would not be surprised if I see them settle just to try to get inside of the 25-yard line. But I think they're going to pass in this situation, which they are. And they're looking for, they were looking for Hagel, Patrick Hagel on that one. But the pass was a little bit behind him, incomplete. That's going to bring up a 4th and 10. It's not quite enough to go to punt it. But they're not in range for the field goal, so they're going to have to go for it on a 4th and 10, which isn't bad field position for Columbus North. I think this is a good decision. And so, Christian Gelov is in shotgun on the right hash with Baumgartner to his right. And Gelov takes a snap. And he's looking over the middle. He's running, scrambling, and he is sacked. And he got back to the line of scrimmage, not much more.
Yeah. He tried to reach to go a little bit farther, but he was taken down too short.
He was not able to scramble out of that. The coverage was good. I think we're going to have to see something from Gelov's legs. What about you?
I agree.
His legs have been a key part to this team in scrambling, so we're going to have to see how that can play out. And so Hammond is back under center, and he hands it off to number 26, and David Jolly got a couple yards there on that one, but not much more. I don't know how much of him we're going to see, but I mean, I think for him that's a great run right there. He got about 5 yards. I could see them running a couple more times with him, and indeed they do. And he gets a first down, but he gets taken down by number 18, and that's Danny Rode. He's our leading cornerback. I foresee him having a good game tonight. His coverage has been solid. But we're going to have to see how Rode can play.
Is he leading quarterback?
Cornerback.
Oh, never mind.
And so Hammonds is back under center with a different running back behind him this time. And there's a flag on the play, false start. Columbus North, that's going to back him up 5 yards. And 1st and 15. I see some more running. You?
Out of which team?
The team that's on the field right now, Columbus North.
Yeah, it seems to be working out for them pretty well. Our defense needs to shut that down.
They have gotten plenty of yards on the ground so far, not much through the air. And so Hammonds is back under center with it looks like it's a broken play. Hammonds is scrambling for it, gets 5 yards, but that was a broken play. He went one way, the running back went the other. I do not think that was design. It definitely did not look like it. That was, I don't know many plays where you have the quarterback handing off the ball one way. Yeah, it's kind of out there, but hey, it's a possibility.
Who knows? They're trying to be creative.
That's creative enough for me. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 9. And they're handing it off again to number 34, their leading running back, Blake Huffman. And Huffman got a couple yards there, but that's going to bring up a 3rd and about 6. Huffman, I see him having a good game up the middle. I don't know about, but they haven't been doing much outside. Their passing attack has been non-existent so far. I feel like they're going to have to get that in soon.
Yeah, but maybe that's not their strong suit.
Maybe it's not their strong suit. And so Hammonds, hands it off to number 8. But he spins out a tackle, but then gets taken down by Rode. Rode was the man I said was going to have a good game. But Lofton, he broke a tackle, could not make it out of the 2nd tackle by Rode. And so that's going to bring up a 4th and 3. They're punting this time. So far, it hasn't been that offensive game. It's been that defensive, gritty-nitty game. And as we're 3 minutes and 10 seconds into this first quarter, this has been a good game.
It has. It's been very eventful. Especially that catch.
And so this punt goes to Bernie McGinnis, and McGinnis fair catches it at the 17-yard line. Our offense is back out on the field. Do you think they can?
I have faith in our offense.
Do you think they get a touchdown on this possession, settle for a field goal, or end up short?
Well, I sure hope they get a touchdown.
We all do.
If they keep getting blocked in the middle, then I'm not sure how far they're going to make it.
I think if they have some routes on the outside when it comes to passes, I think they've got that down, but they have been consistently running on first down. As Gelov is back under center for this first down play, with 2 wide receivers to his left and nobody to his right. So Gelov takes snap and hands it off to Baumgartner as we thought. And Baumgartner, he gets no gain. That no gain has been consistent, but they have been keeping with this run game. I think that if they keep with the run game, it will eventually open up. But as of the moment, clearly it has not opened up.
Yeah.
And so that defense has been collapsing, and when that defense collapse, there's not much Baumgartner can do in that situation.
That's true.
So Gelov is under center again, and he takes snap. Play action, but he's getting rushed. It's a screen play, but Baumgartner got blown up. The blocks were not there.
No, they're not. And they lost yards on that one.
They lost a couple yards, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and long, about a 3rd and 13.
Oh,
but
that's rough.
We need to see some more passes other than just a
handoff,
just a play action. Yeah. I think play action could work, but he needs more time in the pocket.
Executed properly.
And I don't know if the screenplay was there on that one. We know Baumgartner has the speed if he can break it, and obviously he's got strength as we've seen him multiple times this year lay a stiff arm on the defensive back and made him look a little dumb. And so Gelov this time throws it, and Baumgartner's got some room on this one, but cannot get the first down, just barely out. And so that defense. Columbus North got right on up the middle. Protection has not been great.
Yeah, I don't know if that
no.
was an initial or
we definitely need to fix that.
Very good screen pass.
And so Hokinson's back out there for the second punt, and You can take it away for the next little bit.
All right, Matthew.
I'll be your sidekick.
The punt is in the air, and it is going down to number 2, Hunter Husser. And he is taken down at about the 45-yard line. Guerin 45-yard line.
And he made a good cut there.
He sure did.
Got inside of that defender, and he had a little bit of room there. Not much.
There is a minute and 7 seconds left on the clock as the Columbus offense comes out on the field.
So Hammonds is back out there.
Handoff to number 34.
And he breaks
Blake
it
Huffman.
for about a 10-yard gain. He made a good move there, got inside the safety, but the safety ultimately took him down at the after he got 10 yards, though. So that's going to bring up another first down.
Yeah. I'd say they're, at this point of the game, their running game is looking a bit better than ours.
Just a tad bit. I think you're right on that one.
Just a tad.
They've also been only going with 2 wide receivers almost every play, but their blocking has clearly been better as Huffman gets a couple more yards.
Yep. The clock is ticking down, and there's about 35 seconds left, with the score still 0-0. Columbus North's ball.
And so, as you can see, Huffman came out again. He has his backup in now. Huffman has been in and out all game today.
Yes.
I've noticed that so far, as Hammonds has been under center almost every play today. This time play action.
Turns and goes, and he is taken out of bounds by number 19.
Patrick Hagel. Hagel there, he's got some speed to him, but ultimately Hammonds just got the outside edge quicker, and as he turned that ball up, he had some room, he got some yards. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3, though.
As you were saying earlier, maybe if our offense were to incorporate some of those outside plays, then we would gain some yardage as well.
This is a 3rd down and 3 with 4.2 seconds left in the first quarter. A broken play, but Hammonds got the first down.
Goes through. It's
Broken play. We haven't been able to stop them, and it's a broken play. It's in the name. You're supposed to be able to stop that.
if it's broken, it shouldn't be gaining that many yards.
So that's going to bring up a first down as we go into this second quarter, as the score is 0-0. As we keep on going through this game, is there anything you would like to see from any team, just overall?
I'd like to see how the Columbus North's passing game turns out to be, because they haven't done a lot of that yet.
They have not.
And I would like to see how our running, well, more of our passing game too, because that first play, that first catch by McGinnis, that was pretty great, and we gained a bit on that too. And maybe if we did some more of that, then we'd be scoring.
Do you have a little nightly or a weekly Friday night weather
Our
report
Friday night weather report.
down here in Columbus?
It is a fabulous, beautiful night it is partly cloudy with about 83 degrees. Throughout the night, it seems to go down into the 70, 75, 72, 71, 70 range, and it's pretty nice.
That's your nightly weather report.
That's your nightly weather report.
As this Columbus North team
it is only on Friday nights.
takes
It is
the field again.
nightly.
So Hammonds hands it off to Huffman, and Huffman gets the outside, and he gets taken down at about the 13-yard line. Huffman has been getting, when he gets to the outside or bounces it to the outside, he's gotten some room. So Columbus North has been able to get this this drive going so far with this running game. I see them going the rest of the way with this running game. And as Huffman hands the ball off again, this time to number 26. That is David Jolly on that one. He's gotten 3 handoffs so far, but that one, it was a loss. And that was a good play by Ethan Sutton.
Yes, indeed.
And so, I mean, David, is that his name? David.
D-A-V-E-E-D.
David has speed. He just hasn't really gotten that outside edge.
David's got the speed.
David does have the speed. As Huffman is in shotgun this time, they have trouble with the snap.
He is
As
taken down by number
Ethan
31.
Sutton got him all the way back at the 36-yard line, or 35-yard line, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 25 and possibly put them out of field goal range. But is that, deep enough for them to punt it? I don't know. It looks like they have their offense back on out there for a 4th and 25. And we thought they were going to score after that great drive, and then they go away from what they've been doing in that running game. They go into shotgun, and
didn't work out too well, did it?
That snap was a little high.
Just a tad.
And it looked like it bounced off of Hammond's hands a little bit.
It kind of hit his hands and flew backwards.
And that was not something I was expecting to see.
No, I
by no
don't
means.
quite think that was planned.
If that was planned, then I think their coaches are going to have to get a little something adjusted. But with 10 minutes and 22 seconds left in this first half, it's 4th and 25. They're going for it just because it's not long enough for a punt. They're not close enough to kick it. It's kind of in that range
really
where you don't want to be.
else to do. That's kind of where we were earlier this game. About the same area too.
However, they have already missed a field goal this game, so that has to be ringing through this kicker's head as this night goes on. If a kick comes down to him, the pressure's on. But right now, we're not quite there.
But no pressure, guys, no pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure.
As Hammonds takes the field again with Huffman as his running back. Huffman lines up to his right, and they're going back in shotgun. I'm a little surprised by this after what just happened, but
yeah, me too.
They're back in shotgun. It looks like they're doing a pooch kick. And so Huffman will be their kicker. And this one looks like it's going into the end zone. That was a great kick for a quarterback by means, but
maybe he should be the kicker.
Maybe he is the kicker. I have seen that play before by this Columbus North team. But the pooch punt, that was good. That was some quality airtime there. Just bounced out the 2-yard line, rolled in, but we're going to be getting the ball at the 20-yard line, going 80 yards to see if we can get a touchdown.
Yeah,
led by Christian Geloff.
Pretty good kick for a quarterback.
That was pretty good. And so Christian Geloff is going under center this first time. I see a run coming, but we have to see what this run produces, if this drive can produce anything. As the man in motion is Braden Hall. The ball is handed off to... Oh my goodness, they had me fooled, but he is sacked, and that's...
Quite a few yards on that one.
He was sacked by number 48, Nick Holt, on that play.
10.
He just couldn't escape.
8-yard line-ish. 10, yeah.
Deep in our own territory. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 21, and clearly we're going to have to run it on this one because we can't expect protection against this defensive line when we're at the 9-yard line. They're expecting runs, so they're playing up a little bit, and Geloff's in shotgun and does not toss it, but he gets out to about the 14-yard line. Still not going to bring up a great 3rd down, but at least it's yards. It gives our punter a little bit of room. And so after that play, it's going to bring up a 3rd and 15. Clearly, a 3rd and 15 is not the position you want to be in.
No,
but I would like to see a pass on this one, a little bit of aggression to show that they have something in them.
Not sure the running tactic is gonna work this time. We're a bit far, maybe it could, but I think a pass might be a better option.
The chances are a little low. And so Geloff takes this one, and it is a QB draw, but Columbus North saw this the whole way.
No gain.
He lost a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 4th and very long. So that's going to we're going to have to punt on this one with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in this
4th
half.
and 16.
And I need to see a little something extra out of this offense after these first 2 drives. It has not quite impressed me as we see Tom Hokinson back out there to punt for a 3rd time as we are only in this first half.
It is the second quarter with 8 minutes on the clock, and it is still 0-0.
As Hokinson got that one off, and it's fair caught at about the 44-yard line, and that's where this team, this Bulldog team, is going to be starting their 4th drive of the game, as they have come up empty on every drive. As they started on about the 20-yard line, you have to remember, on the first drive. So our defense has come a long ways to keep us in this game, as it's still 0-0. And so as
The ball on the 43-yard line, it is 1st and 10. Bulldogs ball, Columbus North.
Hammonds is back out there, and you have to notice shotgun. First thing you think of shotgun was that last play. This time it's a good snap, but it's another run.
And he
is up to
broke
about the
through one,
35-yard
but then
line.
there were a few more people on the other side, and they just kind of took him down.
Yeah, that was some good defense up the middle. I've been looking to see if Simzak has been able to get through this line or play up that middle. I've been seeing him get double teamed often as their nose tackle, but I expect him to have a decent game the rest of this way. And Hammonds hands it off to Huffman again, and Huffman gets the outside and was tackled by Nick Demas. So he gained about a yard there, and that was that's kind of all he got. But I would like to see a little bit more out of this offense for Columbus North, as they can as they're rolling out this time. This passing game, as we've seen, has been nothing, and he gets sacked at the 45-yard line. That's going to bring up a 4th and long.
Lost about 2 yards there.
I think that's the reason why they have not been passing the ball very much. That was a loss of about 7 yards.
Not their strong suit, as we can see.
It looks like they are actually sending out their punter this time, number 13, who's actually their kicker and their punter, Carter Ward. He was the man who missed the kick earlier tonight.
Oh, yes.
But we're going to have to see if he's brought his composure back up, as
It's high in the air. And
it sails over his head, and it bounces out at the 3-yard line. That was, you don't see that very often in high school football. That was he's talented. So as Guerin Catholic will be starting at their 3 this drive, I definitely see them running the ball these first couple plays. For you, do you see that same thing? Do you think that they're going to be running the ball for all 3 downs of this first drive, or do you see like a little wide receiver screen play?
Well, they're most likely going to try and run it. That's what they've been doing it pretty much all night.
However, at the 3, this Bulldogs team has to kind of be expecting it, and so I would not be able to, or be surprised if I see a loss. And the ball is handed off to Baumgartner. Baumgartner squeezes through that tiny hole, and he gets a couple yards there, and that'll bring up a second down, and he got about 4 yards on that. I'm sorry. Actually, he did get about 4 yards, 2nd and 6 at the 7-yard line. And if they can keep that 4 yards up, that's a first down every 3 plays. But
Good math, Matthew.
can't be expecting that. Thank you, I take pride in my math skills. As
And he squeezes it there again.
he gets up to a yard of the first down marker. And as I said earlier in this game, they've been creating holes now. This running game has started to open up. We need to see if it opens up the whole way, if we are able to get a good drive of running. As earlier in the season, you have to remember, we had a 16-play, 9.5-minute drive of it was of Gus. Gus just ran down the field. Gus the bus, you would say.
Gus the bus.
And will we see that again, as this time it is handed off to the fullback, and it looks like he got the first down. So that time it was Braden Hall. Braden Hall, he has been a great attribute to this team, not just in the blocking standpoint, but he has been in runs like those. He has been pounding it up the middle.
Yes, indeed he has.
And so, back out again, Christian Gelov, who has been leading this team as they get their first down after, I'm pretty sure, 2 possessions. And Gelov has Baumgartner only behind him with the man in motion of Braden Hall. So the ball is handed off to Baumgartner. Baumgartner's getting nothing there.
Hold back. Loses. Oof.
There, he was tackled late there after the whistles were blown, but that was just...
It was about like 5 yards there. 4 or 5.
It looks like he lost 2 yards on that play, so that's going to bring up a 2nd and 12, but we're going to have to see how this works. And so now, if you look at the clock, there's 4 minutes left on the clock in this second half. They've got to speed up.
Yeah.
So Gelov is back under center, and he is looking to the left side, and Braden Hall, he's got some room, and out at the 25 is Hall as he gets the first down. But that was some Braden Hall action. Braden Hall has some athleticism, some power, and he's got some intensity.
Yeah, he pulled through for that first down, which we were having a rough go at getting that one, and then he just...
That was a nice over-the-shoulder pass by Gelov as he is back under center. And so Gelov is... he's another pass, this time to Bernie McGinnis, and it was off his hands. You do not see that very often. That is a drop by Bernie McGinnis. McGinnis, I have seen him in practice. I have seen him in games. That is rare that you see him drop a ball like that. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. But I think that McGinnis, he's going to be able to pull that in. Next time, 99 out of 100 times he catches that pass, that was that 1 out of 100. So I'd like to see some more targets to McGinnis, but that consists of more plays that are passing plays. And so now with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this first half.
That being said that he dropped it, he also has made quite a few marvelous catches. So
he has. He's kind of made up for all those missed catches, or actually I guess that one missed catch. But he has had multiple highlight reel catches just this year.
At least 5.
And we're only 5. This is the 5th game of the season, out of 9 games in the regular season. As 3rd down and 7 is approaching, this Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles offense, as Gelov is in shotgun with Baumgartner to his right, and Gelov's looking right. It's McGinnis again, and McGinnis gets the first down.
Barely.
That is Bernie McGinnis for you right there. He's making the catches.
That last pass.
He makes the catches you don't think he's going to make, because he had to come back for that ball.
He did. He had to redeem himself from last catch.
He had to redeem himself. I think if he caught that last ball, he would have had an extra 15, 20 yards with him on that.
Yeah.
So let's see how they perform with 2.5 minutes left in the first half, as it's handed off to Baumgartner again, and Baumgartner gets about 7 yards, and that is one of his bigger gains. We've not seen many big gains. I don't think
No.
they're going to rush much the rest of this drive, though.
Yeah. Is 2 and 3.
And
on
so
the
something
45-yard line.
you got to remember is that we have actually had this ball for a decent amount of time, and we started back all the way at the 3-yard line after that incredible punt.
And off to Baumgartner up the middle.
Baumgartner is fighting, and he gets within the yard of the marker, but we're going to have to see where they ultimately spot it. It looks like it's almost a first down, but it is right there at the marker. It looks like they're showing first down, but it looks like they're going to measure it as they're going to have the markers come out. And Guerin's going to get to talk about what they want to do with this next play if it is third down. So the rest of this drive, who do you see as their big person? Do you see it Baumgartner, McGinnis? Do you see it with Gelov's legs? What do you see?
Well, Matthew, Baumgartner has had a few, in past games, he's had quite a few more, successful runs, and this one, he's been getting stopped or even pushed back a lot. Although, that being said, there has been a few really good ones, like this last recent one of his, and I don't really know. I'm not quite sure yet because there's McGinnis who, yes, he dropped the pass, but he's also made multiple successful ones, so they could pass it, but seeing as it is a first down.
They mark it as a first down.
So never mind.
So Gelov is getting the snap. It was a little high, but he did corral it as Baumgartner gets a yard on that. And you have to give credit to Gelov right there for corralling that in,
Yes.
because
It's a
that
bit
easily
high. Almost had to jump to catch that one.
that easily could have gone over his head. And then there goes your drive with about a minute left. I could see us getting in field goal range, but we have to get some tempo
Throws
here.
it to number 15.
Ferrucci makes a move, gets inside,
He's
but
taken down at
he is
about
taking the 46-yard line
46-yard
of
line.
the Bulldogs now. So we have about 20 yards to gain, about 26 yards until we can get to field goal range, as it looks that Guerin Catholic as we take our first timeout of the half. We still have 2 left after this timeout, and the Bulldogs of Columbus North, they still have all 3 timeouts if they can get a 3-and-out, or not a 3-and-out, if they can get a stop right here on 3rd and 4. So I could see this being a pass. I could see this being a run. By all means, I can see anything.
Really? It's not that predictable because it's been quite a mixture of everything so far this game. The sun is starting to go down. It's getting a bit darker out, but the lights are shining bright on the field and in our players' hearts.
Friday night football, the lights shining
Friday
down
night
on the field.
football. Everybody's
This is what it's
favorite
all about.
part of Friday night.
And so as we're on the left hash, you have to remember that Baumgartner, from what I know, he likes running to his right as he lines up to Gelov's right on this one. As you have to keep in mind, McGinnis is on the right side, the wide side of the field. So Gelov is taking the snap here in shotgun, and he's scrambling. He's getting pressure, and he gets the ball off, and it is incomplete. That was intended for number 15, Dominic Ferrucci.
Number 17 on Columbus North, Nash Johnson, had pretty good coverage and was able to get in the way of that pass, even though it was a little off.
But that pressure right there was made by number 51, Montez Mitchell, and without that, I think that pass would have been a little more on point. They would have gotten the first down. That interruption by this defensive line has been big, as Hokinson comes out on the field for the 4th time tonight. So Hokinson right here, we're hoping that he gets a good punt off. But if this is anywhere near a good return, they could easily get a field goal. And you have to remember they get the ball after the second for the second half. Oh, the ball is fumbled, but it looks like it was recovered by Columbus North. But Husser, he took a tough hit right there.
Yeah.
He kind of took an acrobatic flip there.
Yeah.
However, I think he wasn't intending to take it. I don't think anything with acrobatics really should go in with football unless if you're kind of leaping over a man. But
yeah, I wasn't aware that flips were part of the play, but
I don't think so. But Hammonds is back under center.
I'm not a coach, so who am I to question that?
Excuse me, that is not Hammonds in there. That is number 4, Tanner Hadley. As Hadley is the quarterback right now. But he is going over to the sideline for the moment, as there is an it looks like on the field right now Nick Demas is holding his right arm. He appears to be okay though. His jersey was just flipped inside of his his shoulder pad, and I know that can be tough to rearrange. As Guerin Catholic actually takes the timeout there just to get their defense set.
One timeout left of the half.
With 35 seconds left.
35 seconds to go. Still score 0-0.
And so for Hadley right here, it might just be some minutes right before we go into half. But is Hadley going to be the starting quarterback for the rest of the game? Maybe.
Maybe not.
But
we'll see.
Hadley, he is a senior for this team. He's 6 foot. Maybe he has an arm. Maybe he's the one who can bring the passing game to this team. But right now it looks like they're just going to take a knee and go into halftime tied 0-0. But it looks like Guerin took a timeout, which is going to force this defense on a 3rd and 5 to maybe do a little something. I don't know what the timeout, why Guerin took a timeout right there. Guerin took a timeout. They did not want to go into half immediately. So I don't know what's happening, as there are only 30 seconds left. And I mean, Guerin has no more timeouts left, and all this offense really has to do with Columbus North. All they have to do is take a knee, and that sends them into halftime, which appears to be what they're going to do. But Guerin wanted to see them knee a couple times, I think. We wanted to see how their form was when they, put their knee down on the ground. And so
see how the execution turns out.
They do that for a 3rd time, and it looks like we're going to be heading into halftime tied up 0-0. And if you have been tuning in so far, we have much thanks for you, as it is halftime.
With the camera, it appears.
So we're going to be switching over to our other look at the moment. And as we're going to head into our halftime, I guess I would say show, but our halftime. So thank you for tuning in as of the moment, and we will see you at the start of the second half.
Sound of North continues its 2019 season tomorrow at the Bands of America Louisville Regional at Papa John's Stadium in Louisville. Prelims competition begins at 7:30 a.m. The Sound of North performs at 9:30 a.m. If the band qualifies, finals competition begins at 8 p.m. For a full schedule, please visit the band's website at soundofnorth.band. And welcome to the Columbus North High School homecoming halftime presentation. As the freshman float leads the rest of the class float forward to the home stands, we will soon be treated to the homecoming court. The theme this year is Around the World. Today, the students enjoyed the 18th annual trike race in Convo during the afternoon. 26 trike teams competed for bragging rights, and the students enjoyed a great halftime show. During halftime, Pranav Viktaraman was crowned as the 2019 Homecoming King. And now for the floats and introductions of the Prince and Princesses. I'd like to thank the Columbus Corvette Club for again helping with our senior court. Includes the two princesses and two princes. One of Lauren Barker, the daughter of Lance and Ramona Barker. Lauren is a member of the North Girls Soccer Team and North Girls Basketball Team. She's also a member of Student Assembly. Riley Shum is the daughter of Adam and Emily Shum. Riley is also a member of the Girls Soccer Team and Student Assembly. Eli Cash is the son of TJ and Lindsay Cash. Eli is a member of the North Boys Track Team. And Cooper Horn is the son of Will and Stacy Horn. He is a member of the North Boys Basketball Team and the North Boys Track Team. That is your freshman court. Here comes the sophomore court. On it, Gwen Anderson. Gwen is the daughter of Chris and Kelly Anderson. Gwen is a member of the North Girls Golf Team and a North High School. She is also a member of Student Assembly. Grace Whaley is the daughter of Travis and Jennifer Whaley. Grace is a member of the North Girls Track Team and Cross Country Team. She is also a member of Student Assembly. Lawrence Delano is the son of Beal and Ann Delano. Lawrence is a member of the North Boys Swimming Team and a member of the lacrosse team. Aaron Kreider is the son of David and Susan Kreider. Aaron is a member of the North Boys track team and the North Boys basketball team. That is your sophomore court. Here comes the junior court, featuring Lauren. Lauren is the daughter of Scott and Lynn, and a member of Student Assembly. Sydney Hollers is the daughter of Jeff and Jen Hester and Brian and Terry Hollers. Sydney is a member of the North Girls track team and North Student Assembly or Student Athletic Board. She is also a member of Student Assembly. Kyle Carlson is the son of Mark and Jenny Carlson. Kyle is a member of the North Boys basketball team and a member of Student Assembly. And Max Wilson. Max is the son of Scott and Julia Wilson. Max is a member of the North Boys basketball team and Student Assembly. He also participates in unified track. There is your junior court. And now let's meet the senior homecoming court. In that first Corvette is Zoe Horn. Zoe is the daughter of Will and Stacy Horn. She's a North Varsity cheerleader and a member of HOSA. Zoe plans to attend college to study health sciences on the pre-med track. Her escort tonight is Cam Wishmeyer. Cam is the son of Ralph and Tammy Wishmeyer. He is a North Boys basketball player. He also participates in Student Assembly. Cam plans to attend a 4-year university to study chemistry on a pre-med track. In the second Corvette is Addison Justice. Addison is the daughter of Martin and Jennifer Justice. She is a North Varsity cheerleader and a member of HOSA. She plans to attend a 4-year university and obtain her degree in health science. Her escort tonight is Andrew Goebel. Andrew is the son of Todd and Patrice Goebel. He is a North men's soccer player and is also on the North Student Athletic Board. Andrew is planning to attend a 4-year university, obtain a BS and an MBA in accounting. In the third Corvette is Molly Nelson, daughter of Chris and Deborah Nelson. Molly is the president of Thespian Troop number 57 and is involved in North Drama performances. She is also a member of North High School Mixed Show Choir. Molly plans to pursue musical theater in college with a double major in business, communications, or psychology. Her escort tonight is Pranav Venkataraman. Pranav is the son of Shimala and Shankar Venkatarama. Pranav is a member of the North Men's Cross Country Team, choir, theater, and student assembly. He plans to attend college and study computer science and music composition. In that right Corvette is Coral Roberts, the daughter of Todd and Carrie Roberts. Coral is a member of the National Honor Society and the North Student Athletic Board. She plans to attend IU and major in editing. She also plans to try out for the Cream and Crimson Cheer Squad in May. Tonight is Matt Riemann. Matt is the son of Mary Hanglin. He is the North Student Body President and is also involved with Big. He plans to attend Indiana University. In the fifth Corvette is Allison Schoon. Allie is the daughter of Adam and Emily Shum. She is a varsity cheerleader and a member of HOSA. She is also a member of the National Honor Society. She plans to attend college to major in health sciences. Her escort tonight is Adam Chapman. Adam is the son of Kevin and Pat Chapman. He is a varsity baseball player and a member of the National Honor Society. He is also a member of HOSA. Adam plans to attend college to major in health sciences. Next, Erica Song. Erica is the daughter of Jerry Song and Nanyan Chu. She is a member of the National Honor Society and the North Choir. She attends Community Church of Columbus. She is planning to attend a four-year university to study biology for pre-med or study economics. Her escort tonight is Luke Swain. Luke is the son of Mark and Jill Swain. He's a member of one team. He is also a member of the Olympic Club and Key Club. Luke plans to attend a four-year university and study psychology or environmental. In Corvette number 7, Emma Tynan. Emma is the daughter of Scott and Lynette Tynan. Emma is a member of the North volleyball team and a member of the National Honor Society. She plans to attend a four-year university. Her escort tonight is Graham Keel. Graham is the son of Seth and Mandy Keel. Graham is a member of the North men's soccer team and the student assembly. He plans to attend IU to study biology and psychology to pursue a career in the medical field. Last but hardly least, Emma is the daughter of Tom
Welcome back
and Amy
to the beginning of this second half, and
she is also a member of the North Show Choir.
This
She
game,
plans to attend
defensive
a four-year
game,
university.
Gus
Her
Baumgartner
escort tonight
clearly,
is
he's got
Adam
27
Saad.
yards so far on, I'm
Is the
pretty sure,
son of
7
Philippe and Dorsaf Saad.
7
He's
carries.
a member of the North men's tennis team and student assembly. He
I don't
plans
think
to
that's enough
attend
for 7
IU to
carries.
study
With the
biology.
27 yards, he hasn't
And
gotten
now, the moment you've been
yards
waiting
yet.
for.
In every
For
game so far, he has been playing
2019
very well.
Columbus
Excuse me, it
High
was 12 carries, not 7.
Homecoming queen
An
is
update by our statistician here, our Spolger. And so, I mean, 12 carries, 27 yards. He's averaging just over 2 yards per carry. Clearly, I don't think that's enough.
Congratulations to everyone.
I mean,
And a
he's
big
been going up the
thank
middle a
you
lot,
again
but
to the Columbus
I don't know.
Corvette Club, as well as the
Random
North
shout
Student
out to my
Assembly.
brother,
So a special thanks to seniors Emma
former
Tynan
DC
and Emma
player.
Weatherall.
and
Student Assembly is sponsored by
shout out
Mr.
to
Dan
my
Marsh and
brother, former
Mr. John
DC
Green.
player, Trace Bolger, and my wonderful mother who are listening right now.
shout out to them, and obviously shout out to everyone that is tuning in, as we are about an hour south of all of you. Actually, hour and a half at least. So thank you for tuning in as we are getting ready to start this third quarter. So to start this third quarter, clearly we know that Columbus North
And
is getting
it's
the
time
ball,
for the
or is getting the
Bucchetto
ball
Smiling
first.
Teeth Pizza
Um,
giveaway.
How do you
Make
think
some
that's
noise
going
if you love
to
Bucchettos for your kids
start
to
off
win
for
a
this
$10 gift
for this
card to
defense?
Bucchettos
Clearly,
Pizza
this game has
and
been
Pasta.
defense.
This was voted
Defense
best pizza,
and
best Italian, best
defense.
French, best
And
catering,
so with that,
and best vegetarian by the
there's
Bloomington
got to
Bell
be
Times Reader's
there's got to
Choice
be a hint of offense
2018,
in there.
and
There's got to
offers
be a
full
run game.
gluten-free menu.
And so far, we've seen a little bit of offense by this Columbus North team, but they have stalled out ultimately every drive, as our Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles have too. They've stalled out. I don't know what I'm gonna see. I've seen a lot from Hammonds. Obviously, we saw that. Like they had a good drive going, and then the snap went over their head. As we are getting ready to get the ball kicked off for this third quarter, and what I'm watching to see is, can Etchison get this ball deep? So far this season, he has not. But on this kick, he gets it deeper than what he has, and it bounces. And so the ball bounces at about the 17-yard line, and he gets out to the 20 as he is tackled by multiple people. A host of, or a flock of eagles, you might say. as this
Tackle for the Golden Eagles by
Columbus
number
North team
25, Reagan
is getting
Hall.
ready to take the field for the first time this half. I mean, this is homecoming for the Bulldogs. Can they pull it out? Obviously, everyone here that is a Bulldog wants to see that happen, as we have a mini crowd out there right now.
For the Bulldogs, number 14, Luke Hammonds.
But, I mean, we're going to have to watch. Can Hammonds get something going with the running game? Can Huffman get that? As Huffman gets the ball right here. Huffman gets about 5 yards on that. And on that 5 yards, this line has been blocking well. Clearly, that's been a pinpoint of this game.
If our defense continues to stay
And number
strong,
57,
then
Alexander
I think
Turnet.
we'll have a successful half if our offense is as strong as our defense.
I think that's a great point. As Huffman or as Hammonds is back out there and hands it off to Huffman for about a 1 yard gain. This defense has been pretty stout so far, as they only gave up 1 yard there. They have been giving up large gains, but they've been stopping this offense many times. I mean, I guess we have to see how this game goes. But after those runs, as David back out there? Number 26, David. Jolly, he does not. He gets back to the line of scrimmage maybe a yard or two, but does not get the first down, and this punt team's back out. That was a pitch play to the right, the short side of the field. And even though Jolly has some good speed to him, clearly he couldn't get around the outside, even if he had about 100 feet more.
It is 4th and 3.
Deep for Guerin Catholic, number 2, Barney McGinnis.
Because it's still just the beginning of the second half.
And so Carter Ward is punting for the 3rd time this game. The first half he punted one and it got all the way down to the 3 yard line, but this time McGinnis is returning one and it's down, and he's down at about the 44 yard line, and that's where this GC offense is going to be starting their drive. Obviously, with Baumgartner 27 yards, he's number 27. I think that's kind of building up for a good second half. Coincidence? I think not. So,
looking at the rest of this game as a whole, do you think they will primarily use the running, passing, or combo?
I see some passing. I would not be surprised if I see some play action, but passing in general. But is a run by here. And Christian Gelov got a quarterback keeper call right there. He called his own number and went for about 8 to 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and about 1. He made a nice cut there. He made a nice read. And he has some speed to him.
Had a little bit of help there, too, from the blockers.
Yeah, he had a little bit of help up the middle.
Made it.
As McGreal is the man in motion. And the ball is handed off to Baumgartner, and Baumgartner looks like he's got the first down. And really, that's just a play up the middle.
Guerin. Short gain, but enough for a first down.
I think that is a first down.
All got stuck in a cluster right at the first down line, and it looks like it's going to
They're giving him a first down. They marked him a yard past the line, and it looks like they're going tempo here really quick. And Gelov's in shotgun with Baumgartner to his right on the left hash. The ball is going back to Baumgartner, and Baumgartner gets about 2 yards on that one. I mean, there's not much to say about that other than some hard-nosed running. We have to give some credit to this offensive line for moving this tough defensive line, who is strong, big, and ultimately athletic. As Gello, here you can go. Take the reins.
Okay. Pass to number 15.
Dominic Ferrucci on that one. Nice catch.
Number 15, Don Ferrucci.
Not quite a
brought down immediately by number 26, David Jolly.
And
3rd and 3.
They are 3-3 at the moment.
3rd and 3
3-3.
as Gelov is on the right hash and he hands it off to Baumgartner. Baumgartner has a hole and he's up the middle.
He's going. And
That is a touchdown, Baumgartner. If you did not see on that play, the ref, he landed a pretty good block on that safety. I don't think that was intentional, but that was interesting. So it's now 6-0 as Baumgartner gets, I mean, that's his most yards that he's gotten all day today. His high before was 7, and now he's helped his team get their first points of the game, as Etchison could possibly tack on a field or an extra point, as he missed 2 last week. Both of them were blocked by number 17, as Columbus North is offsides, and this one is going to be marked up half the distance to the goal. Do they go for it?
Ball foul encroachment
We're
against
going to have to
North.
check. Gelov is looking over to the sideline to see.
Matthew, if you were down there, would you say kick or go for 2?
I would say go for 2 because you are moving half the distance to the goal. You only need 1 yard, and after Baumgartner just got that, he's got the momentum on his side, but it looks like Coach Dilly is sending his extra point or his special teams unit. They're going to stay on the field and have a second extra point try. But I keep having that ref's block replaying in my head. I mean, you don't see that very often, and I mean, he landed a blow on that safety there. Oh, gosh. And so Etchison is getting ready for the extra point attempt as this is his first extra point of the game, and it is through the uprights. That is always a good sign for Etchison.
Out of the hole,
Luke Etchison is a senior for this
the
team.
extra point is good by
He
number
has
89,
always
Luke
been
Etchison.
a good
With 8
kicker,
minutes,
but
6
when it
seconds
comes to
left in the third
consistency,
quarter, it's Guerin
it's something we
Catholic
haven't exactly
Columbus North
seen.
nothing.
We want him to be more consistent, and right there, I think that's a good start.
I agree. We now have 7 points and time to get
7-0. Your Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles are going up to start this second half. I think that is a great way to start this second half off. If that momentum can carry us through, I think we have a great second half. But right now, we have to see what our special teams unit right here can bring
Kicking off for
and what
Guerin
our
Catholic,
defensive
number
unit
89, Luke
can,
Etchison.
what they can do, what they can bring onto the
For the
field.
Dogs, number 2, Hunter Huser, and number
Special
21,
teams
Gio
has been
Alejandro.
a mixture of success and
At the beginning, there was a little bit of
There was a
failure
bit of
with
failure.
that muffed.
but it's okay. Now they
Etchison is getting ready.
off to a good pace so far, and if it continues, then for the rest of the game, then I see
Etchison puts his second ball in the air, and it's returned, but Elijah Edwards misses a tackle, but number 82, Max McGreal, the tight end, the defensive end, the outside linebacker, he came in, and he kind of stopped him right there at the 25-yard line, was saying, no, not in my house.
not today, buddy.
Not today, I guess, since we are at Columbus North, and this is not his house. But hey, if it's your house in your head, you can kind of go off with that one.
Yeah, it's not technically our house right now, but that's what.
But hey, just remember the Dikembe Mutombo, no, that little finger wave. As this Columbus North offense takes the field again, and Hammonds, he hands it off to number 21, and it looks like he's not getting anything. That was a
Not
flock
going
Eagles
anywhere.
there.
Not
Gio Alejandro.
Daniel Rode with Cam Murray. That was just that was not executed. I think to how they would have wanted it, but Kyle Greathouse or Grethhouse, Kyle Grethhouse. He had a hole there, but I don't know if he quite saw it in time and missed it. As this one goes back to Huffman, and Huffman has some room.
was pulled down by number 8.
Huffman carries. Making the tackle, number 18, Daniel Rowe.
And Huffman looks like he almost has a first down. They're going to
1.
check because this is either a 3rd and 1 or a 1st and 10. But it looks like it's going to be a 3rd and inches. I'm surprised they didn't call out for the chain gang to look at it, but it did look like it was a tad bit short. So let's see how this...
Inches away from the first down line, and they're going to make it.
The halfback, number 8, Royce Lofton. He was handed the ball in the fullback position, and he went up the middle, and he got to about the 42.5-yard line, and that's going to break up first down. Clearly,
Just like swerved around a few of those guys and made a good cut through, but he was still taken down by a few of the players on our team.
as this one goes back to Lofton, and Lofton gets about 6 yards on that one. Lofton, if he can get going, I think this offense can definitely go down the field and score, which is what they need right now to put the equalizer on the game and then possibly take off from there. But this defense needs to step up with the power of Demas and Hokinson. But this running game is working, and we cannot stop Lofton. That is his 3rd time in a row, and he moves the chains for the 2nd time in 3 runs.
Nick Demas and number 19, Patrick Hagel.
Excuse me for that one there. And
You okay,
Lofton,
Matthew?
I'm okay. A little parched at the moment, but when
Oh,
you
excitement.
have these great
It's a
games,
throw to number,
Oh
it's a
my
incomplete throw.
that was actually a
Evans
very good
pass
throw.
incomplete.
Was just incomplete.
Intended for number
It bounced
21,
off his
Gio
chest plate.
Alejandro.
Not what he wanted.
Pass was defended by number 18, Daniel Rowe. 2nd and 10.
It's a beautiful night out here. It's dark and there aren't any clouds. It's kind of hard to see the stars, but there's a few out there. Now there's
Royce Lofton
a run play.
brought down by number 19, Patrick Hagel.
Are at the 39-yard line. It is 3rd and 6.
And Lofton, that was him again. Lofton, obviously, he has been a big contributor in this 2nd half as they go back to Huffman, and there's a flag on the play. This could either be holding or a face mask, but we're definitely hoping for a holding. It looked like Lofton might have cut around the edge on that one and turned him around, but we'll see what it is. Turns out that it is a holding or block in the back, so that's going to back him up more. And that's going to bring up it's going to be 10 yards back,
And
but it's third down and distance. I see a pass because I don't think they can get a run
yeah,
for 18 yards.
that'd have to be a pretty good run to make it that far.
And so it looks like they are putting out 4 wide receivers out wide. I have not seen this yet tonight as he is passing.
Pass.
He's looking to the right, but he is stopped short as I cannot see the number right
Evans
now.
pass complete to number 88, Mitchell Collier.
And so that was a great pass and catch, but that is a 4th and 5. So we're going to have to see, do they do the pooch kick again? Do they go for it? And it looks like they sent back out their
This is
offense.
the Bulldogs' first timeout this half. They
Their
have 2
quarterback is a
timeouts
great
remaining.
kicker, but timeout by Columbus North as there's 5
Ladies and
minutes
gentlemen, the
left
winner
in this
of the
3rd
side of
quarter.
beef and the freezer
And really,
from the Gridiron Club,
I'm interested in what's
Shayna
going to happen
Robertson.
on this 3rd down because
Shayna to
they've come out with
play
some
your
different
devices.
looks with
Please see
Ward a couple
number
times, 3 times in
for
fact,
details.
and they've done the pooch kick once. So do I see that pooch kick again? I don't know.
It's possible.
It is
Anything
definitely
is
possible.
at this point, Matthew.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on right now. I think a little stuff going on in the throat. But we are going to carry on with the rest of this game as this 4th and 5. It's going to be, this is the big down for obviously Columbus North, but I think it's even bigger for this Guerin Catholic defense right now. Can they get the stop? If they do, go for it, but it looks like they're going in the position of a pooch kick.
Once again.
But we're going to have to see. They are going for it. They're looking to the right, and it was incomplete. The intended receiver was not looking at the ball, and the ball is thrown behind.
Almost
First down, Guerin Catholic.
Takes over on downs, defending for Guerin on that play. Number 86, Ryan Glenn.
So Hammonds threw that ball inside, and obviously turnover on downs, as that was an out route, and he threw it a little too far inside, not close enough for the man who was intended for to turn around and get it. But Gelov is now back under center with Baumgartner in the backfield, and this is the drive that we could set ourselves apart real quick, as there is a flag right off the bat. Not a good sign,
What is this flag for?
but it is offsides on the defense. So that is actually a good sign for us. That's going to bring up a 1st and 5. But that's some sloppy.
Penalty will bring up 1st and 5.
It's always a possibility. You can say that much, unless it's blatant. And in that case, that's just some sloppy defense by Columbus North.
That's heads now. We've got 7 points.
Yeah, that's something that if you are a defensive coordinator, you are mad at your defense, because that's a mistake you cannot make, and you're just giving up 5 free yards to that offense, and you can't do that.
Good for us, though.
Great for us, as Gelov is throwing this time. McGinnis is intended, but a little out in front of him, incomplete. 2nd and 5.
Tried to reach that one, he just couldn't.
Gelov's pass is incomplete, intended for number 2, Bernie McGinnis. Covering for the Dogs, number 2,
Nash
Hunter
Johnson
Fuser.
was there to break up the pass, just in case. If that was on target, Nash Johnson would have been there, but
It wouldn't have been a shock if he had been able to catch that. He's caught some pretty great ones already.
yeah,
They were ready for that.
they were. And so it's 2nd and 5 as Gelov is in shotgun, and he hands it off. He does not hand it off. It was play action, and he loses yards. That's going to bring up a 3rd and about 9.
Montez Mitchell.
If that is something you do not want to see.
Geloff in the backfield
Play
for
actions
loss.
are even tricky enough.
Brings up 3rd and
That was
5.
just a read where that was a read option where he just, I guess he didn't make the right read, unless if Gus would have gotten less yards, and maybe it was the right read. You never know.
Did I get left side?
You have to think about it.
He could have been taken back farther, but
Baumgartner could have had a fumble there if he did get it, so
Sure.
5 yards is.
it's a pass. It looks like it's going to be
Baumgartner's looking around, scrambling.
He's running. He pitched.
Flips it up. My goodness. McGinnis right there. It looked, oh no, that was Ferrucci. Was that Ferrucci? I did not see the number on that one, but that was a nice pass and catch. That's going to bring up a 1st down. But they are marking him short.
Pass is complete.
They're marking him 1 yard short. So apparently he stepped out of bounds after he caught the ball. I thought he was there for the 1st down, but they are not calling that.
Toss at me there. In the midst of about to be tackled, he threw
It is
right
4th and
up
1.
and over.
He was going out of bounds and just, a little
Looked like they
Little
played
toss.
monkey in the middle out there.
little
Monkey in the middle.
little monkey in the middle. So it's 4th and 1, and Columbus North is showing a lot of pressure right now as Gelov looks back over to the sideline. He doesn't have a whole lot of time left on the play clock, but he gets snap off. And he hands it off to Baumgartner, and Baumgartner does not get there. He loses yards,
He's about.
and it's back Bulldog ball. And
Looks
so
like
that's
you lost
something.
about 3 yards.
And they shall
That's
contact
something
by
where
number 48,
you're
Nick
wondering,
Holt. Number 47,
did he get the
Rashawn
first down
Wells,
on that
finished off
pass?
Baumgartner for a
Because that
loss. The
could be
Bulldogs take
a
a
over
deal
down.
breaker. Could be a deal breaker.
Could have been a game changer.
Game changer, deal breaker, whatever you want to call it. It's all
Same thing.
the same, and it's all leading to a Columbus North first down off of a turnover on downs. As Hammonds
First and
is
10.
under center again with Huffman in the backfield. But they hand it off to Lofton, who's the fullback again. And Lofton is that man who has been cutting it up inside. And he's just been going to work.
By number 19, Patrick Hagel.
This offensive line, they've been blocking very well against
Also
this
there for the
defensive
Golden
front
Eagles, number
for
44,
GC. And
Tom Hokinson.
we've seen over the night that this offensive line has been wearing out the defensive line. So they're handing it off to Lofton, and it appears again. And Lofton looks like he gets the first down. And we've seen a lot of Lofton tonight. Almost too much Lofton. But if it's working for Columbus North, then I guess it's not too much.
It's
But
working for them, not working for us, though.
they're calling it a 3rd and 1, though. They marked him a yard short. But there's some confusion with the chain gang. Oh, they are calling it a first down, actually.
It's not 3rd and 1. That was enough for a Bulldog.
They had it as a 3rd and 1, but then they marked it up to a 1st and 10 at the about 33-yard line. And that's where they're starting this 1st and 10, and it goes back to Lofton, I think it was.
Royce Lofton again with
that's
some
3
smash
plays
mouth
in a row.
football.
His name is almost getting like I could repeat his name in my sleep.
You know, the tackle
Just
number
tonight, I
3.
can
And that
imagine.
guy's name?
Lofton, 5-yard gain.
Zigzag.
Lofton, 10-yard gain. Lofton is Lofton, and he's been doing Lofton things. As Lofton gets the ball again.
Lofton.
Can we get a break from Lofton? So far,
Lofton
no.
again leading
But
the
this
lead
defense
for
has no
Guerin.
answer for the inside
Number
run with
44,
Lofton.
Tom Hokinson.
As I feel like I'm about to get a headache of saying Lofton about 20 times.
Like I've heard it like so many times. That's one name I'm never gonna forget tonight.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 5, which if they go back to Lofton, I will not be surprised, but it's a 3rd and 5 as the I formation is back out there. And this time they're handing it off to Huffman, and Huffman looks like he gets the first down. He is right there at the line to make. But we're going to have to
On
see.
the stop for Guerin, number 28, Jagger Albert.
Seemed to have worked a little bit.
They went so many times with Lofton that they then
Got tired.
kind of went outside with Huffman and had to see if we were looking. And it's going to bring up a 4th and 1.
Had to shake it up. a
They
little bit,
marked him
try
a
and catch
yard
us off
short.
guard.
1 yard short. This is what happened with us. Can we stop them? And they hand it off to Lofton again. And Lofton, I'm almost kind of getting annoyed at saying his name so many times.
For another Bulldog first down.
I mean, he's been having good runs, but
On the stop,
Lofton
number
has been
44,
making
Tom
this
Hokinson,
game
and number 28,
a
Jagger
game
Albert.
with a minute
game.
30 left
Making this game a game.
in this 3rd quarter, and Lofton's lined back up there in the I form, and this time it's going back to Huffman. Huffman makes a spin and gets tackled by
Like
Tom
Huffman, tackled
Hokinson
by
there.
number 44, Tom
Hokinson, the
Hokinson.
captain of this defense, and he's a big man out there.
I'd say this has been a very defensive game. Say that.
You could say that.
With the score still 7-0.
With a 2nd and 13 showing up, which means that the defense just made a great play
and
as they
less
did.
than a minute on the clock in the 3rd quarter.
As they're running it again with Lofton, and Lofton gets more yards,
Royce
and he's
Lofton.
tackled by by Sutton this time, Ethan Sutton.
Tackled by number 31, Ethan
And
Sutton.
that's going to bring up a 3rd and 7, as they are in field goal range at about the 17-yard line. But you have to think, after he missed that first one, does he have Has he brought his morale back up? Does he have his ego set at the right spot to the point of where he can believe in himself if they don't get this first down? And it looks like they do not, as they get no gain on that one.
This time.
Lofton. Can you believe that? No
Leading the way
gain
for
with
the Golden
Lofton.
Eagles, number 34, Nick Demas.
This game, it depends a lot on physical ability and strength, but a key part is
Yeah, and so it's now 4th down and 7 as we get into this 4th quarter Friday night football under the lights. Tight game. It's been a defensive game, but it has been a tight game, and this is what every high school player wants to see. They want a tough game. They want, I mean, I don't know if they exactly want a Lofton game, but they definitely want a game where they can put everything that they have out there and have it be that tight-knit game that it's a hard-nosed battle. This is what it came down to last year. Last year was 17-10. Guerin Catholic taking the W, but you have to think about it as in, like, can this this team real quick, like, which team is going to step up and make the bigger plays going into this 4th quarter? And it's something that we have to see to believe with the final 12 minutes of this game out there. And so it looks like they might be going for it. It looks like they are out there. They've not had many drives, but Hammonds is out there in shotgun as he takes a snap and looks left. Incomplete! And that was some good defense by Danny Road. And that is incompletion. Turnover on downs. Guerin Catholic ball. That was big right there.
For Guerin, number 18, Daniel Road.
Changed the game if it had just been.
Guerin takes over on downs at their own.
That was a big-time play by a big-time player in Danny Road. He's a junior, but has a lot of experience.
Throughout the course of this game, there's been a lot of good defensive plays from him, don't you think, Matthew?
I 100% agree. As this offense takes the field again on the right hash, as Gelov is back under center. Gelov takes snap, and he's handing it off to Baumgartner again, as we haven't called Baumgartner's name as much as I was expecting, I guess, at the beginning of the game, and after the way the past 4 games have gone, as it has been Baumgartner all night. But I'm glad that I've seen more variety. And yeah, as you said, the new Baumgartner is Lofton.
Lofton. Where's Baumgartner? I mean, he's not on our team, but we sure are saying his name a lot.
So Gelov is back in shotgun with Baumgartner to his left. And Gelov, Gelov.
He kind of finds a spot.
Baumgartner.
Pushed out of bounds by.
That is one of his longer gains tonight. About 8 yards there.
By number 33, Jackson
but 55.
You have to remember, after last night, after the last drive, you have to remember, he did score a long touchdown there. Do you see a big run out of him as there's a 3rd and 3 approaching right here?
Like I said before, I see the potential for it, and I sure hope there is one.
I would like to see some more Baumgartner being Baumgartner, as it is handed off to Nick Demas. And Demas, it looks like he is not there. They're marking him, I think, about a foot short, but we'll see where the final marking is.
Not quite there, but it was close.
So it looks like it is a first down. That was a close call. I was expecting to see some the chain gang come out and measure it, but it looks like they gave him the first down. Nick Demas, hard-nosed run. That was what I've been seeing from Lofton, and I'm glad that transferred over to Demas. And so Baumgartner is still out there to the left of Gelov as they have stayed on the right hash the entire drive so far, as it looks like they're going to the left hash this time, and he's going backwards, but Baumgartner, he looks like he got back to the line of scrimmage, but they're marking him back a yard short.
Tackled by number 17, Nash Johnson.
Diagonally and got up a little bit, but not quite. Not really.
I think he could have turned upfield a little sooner and pushed vertical, but he decided to go for width instead of going vertical at the moment, and I think that might have cost him a couple yards.
Didn't quite work out how it could have.
Yes, indeed, and
chance for it to go farther, but hey, that happens.
And that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 as Gelov is in shotgun, and Gelov is throwing, and it looks like there is a flag on the play, pass interference. McGinnis was hit a little early by number 2, the senior Hunter Husser. He's had a big role on special teams today, but that could be a big call. You have to think everything in moderation, and every play, every down, every hit, every call, it's big. That call right there, it's big. It could change the game because it just gave us a first down when if that goes incomplete, that's a 3rd and 10.
Defensive pass interference is the call.
Yeah.
That's a 15-yard
it would have been a 3rd and 10,
penalty.
now it's a 1st and 10 after the
Gives
penalty.
Catholic
At the
first down.
42-yard line as Gelov is back in shotgun on the left hash.
That might have just caused a ripple effect to go through the rest of this game. I sure hope it continues and we continue to get first downs, and it is a handoff to...
It was a play action. Bernie McGinnis, he tried to get a foot in bounds. He could not get the toe tap, but that was still a really good catch, even though he was led out of bounds. McGinnis, you could say, is the man, the myth, and the legend. Bernie McGinnis, he's got the moves, he's got the skills, he's got the speed, he's got the hands. And that's what you need. He's got large hands, and
that's helpful when you're a receiver.
I can tell you that much. And Gelov is lined up in shotgun as he hands it off to Baumgartner. Baumgartner falls forward for about a yard, but that's going to bring up another 3rd and long, and that is not what you want to see when you're trying to make a put the exclamation point on the game, as this Columbus North offense hasn't been able to get a whole lot going, but that could easily change in a second.
It's very safe to say that this is not a high-scoring game, with the score being 0-7. Golden Eagles up. It is also the Golden Eagles ball.
This is the opposite of a shootout, you may say.
Yes.
It is a shoot-in.
Shoot-in. New terms, not sure if that was a thing, but we just made it a thing. And there's a flag thrown on the ground.
It looks like they're going to delay the game, and that's going to bring up the 3rd down and long.
That's a 5-yard penalty.
They did not get the timeout off in time, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 15. It could have been that they were just trying to get clock off, but I don't know if they were quite meaning for that to happen, as they're out there for the 3rd and 15.
They are getting ready to start this one.
So Gelov takes a snap, and he's looking left, and he's throwing left. Patrick Hagel, he's open, he's going, the 5, touchdown, Patrick Hagel. That was a great route. He got outside of the cornerback, and on a 3rd and 15 after a delay of game. That was a great pass and catch.
Right behind him.
They're going
a few steps ahead to make that touchdown.
They're going up 2 scores now, which you have to remember. This offense of Columbus North has not been, it's not been the greatest. It's been a lot of running, and it's a slow offense. And with this kind of time, you don't quite have that time to do that.
We're lined up to kick right now to go for 1 extra point. and it's in the air, and it's
There's a flag on the play, but the good thing is that it did go in.
It did.
So that is going to keep his ego up, even though it was a false start. They're going to move it back 5 yards. We're going to see if he can make it. We all hope he can make it.
No pressure, dude. No pressure.
No pressure. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Luke, as you've seen, he has been, in my opinion, a great kicker for this team. As in, just overall, he's been a great kicker. And we're gonna see it on this kick. The snap, hold, great.
It's good.
And it goes back on through.
Richardson's kick is good.
14-0 Guerin Catholic. That could be a big thing of this game.
Columbus North, nothing.
But that's something that you're always happy to see when your kicker puts it through the uprights after you just had a down week the last week. As this, and you have to watch our defense here soon against this Columbus North offense. If they can break a couple runs, especially if they can get a string of first downs going on with Lofton again, I think that's going to be good for this for this offense of Columbus North, and that could be ultimately really bad for this defense, as they just got to stop on 4th down. They're kind of running high, but if they can get a string together a couple first downs, that could definitely bring up some adversity for this defense that we'll have to see if they can handle it. Which so far this game they have answered to the call.
Done well. Ring, ring. They answered. Hello?
Telephone.
This is your defense.
Okay, as the ball is kicked off. And it looks like they're going to let it go out of bounds.
The flag is thrown.
Richardson's kick goes out of bounds.
4th in the last,
There have been a lot of flags in the second half.
Yeah,
especially compared to that first half.
North will start at its own 35, first and 10.
I'm not sure if there even was one in the first half, and there's been at least 3 this half.
So yeah, the ball is going to start at the 35-yard line, which is not actually that bad. If you're considering how far they have to go, they still have to go 65 yards, and that is, if you're going to do the math real quick, that's 6.5 yards.
Math time with Matthew.
Math time with Matthew. Thank you for my little session. That's about 6.5 first downs. Thank you to my math teacher, P squared. Shout out to P squared. And a quick shout out, that pass by Christian Gelov, I'm not going to say all thanks to, but a lot of thanks to Coach Gelov there. He is the quarterback coach. I've seen his coaching. It is excellent. As Hammonds is running right now, and Nick Demas came in. That was a rough hit by Nick Demas.
Kind of spun around in a circle.
Brought down by number 34, Nick Demas.
Tornado.
It was like one of those little whirlwinds you see, and it's just like tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed? Whirlwind? What's a whirlwind, Matthew?
Just a little something you see out there, Not your average day in Indiana, but maybe Kansas. Maybe Kansas.
We're not in Kansas anymore, Matthew.
We are not in Kansas. That is indeed true. As Hammonds is lining up
There's a twister coming.
in shotgun. He is looking deep, but he's got nobody open, and he is sacked. Nick Simzak, that is always great to see, with some help from Alex Trene.
By number 3, Nick Simzak.
Nick Simzak has been starting since he was a sophomore. He's obviously got the experience, and so far this game, I've been happy to see that he got that sack there because he's had a big role. But, obviously I think that sack there, that just shows how great he is, how his speed is, everything about Simzak, as they're back in shotgun with a 3rd and 9 facing them. And Hokinson, he came off the edge, almost got him, but it looks like Hammonds was taken down by a flock of Eagles.
Hammonds keeps.
Led by number 31.
Tackled by number 31.
Not a flock of geese flying south for the winter, but
number 44.
a flock of eagles coming after a bulldog.
Tom Hokinson.
Migration indeed.
Now it's biology time.
Biology
We've gone
time.
from math to biology.
What
This is
else
the
you
whole-
guys want to listen to the
whole
rest of this
school
game?
day.
As it's 4th down and 4 with 6.5 minutes left in this fourth quarter. And Hammonds, the snap's a little low. He corrals it though, and the ball is tipped up and incomplete. That was tipped by number
Hammonds' pass is
31,
incomplete.
Ethan Sutton. Sutton has had a big game.
Pass was tipped by number
And
19, Patrick
I mean,
Hagel.
you have to think back.
Guerin takes over
Go
on
all the
downs.
way back to the Heritage Christian game. And that one drive, 16 plays, 9.5 minutes. I know I've already brought it up, but with about 6.5 minutes left, if you can run it with Baumgartner and kind of run the clock out, I think that's a great that's a great ending right there.
Good game plan, Matthew.
Good game
Maybe we should
plan.
call up the coaches and be like, hey guys, do this.
That's an option.
It's an option.
It's probably not going to happen at the
Although
moment, but
Although you inconveniently don't have a phone right now, so I can't, like, at the moment with you, so...
as the ball is handed off to Baumgartner, except he did go backwards for about a yard. So I don't know if we're going to see that 16 play.
Baumgartner
Obviously not 9.5 minute
tackled
drive,
after
but
51, Montez Mitchell.
6.5 would be great for us to see.
$14-0. Like we said before, not a high-scoring game. They're getting ready to set up again with Baumgartner back a little bit. Could be a running play, looks like it. And it is. It's a handoff to Baumgartner. He's up. He found a little hole at first, but then he was taken down
Baumgartner
by
carries.
He got to the outside, but
Tackled by number 17, Nash Johnson.
a pack.
That's
Third and long.
more
We'll just say a lot of Bulldogs as of the moment. There
a
were
lot of.
a lot of.
A lot. That is the very technical term used for a pack. A pack, that's... I'm going to stop talking.
I mean, I don't think you'd quite say a flock, but
I mean, who knows?
but hey, if we could actually see this offense go down and possibly score at any points, I'd say that's almost game, unless if this offense has one last surge in them, as they're Bulldogs.
Hand off to Baumgartner off the left.
He didn't get the first down. He was about
Baumgartner
2
run out
yards
of
short.
bounds.
We're almost there.
But if we can nail them deep, or even if we just run on this last play and see if we can get or can pick up the fourth down.
Baumgartner
We're
run
I'd
out
say
of
that's good.
bounds by number
Seconds left on the
17,
clock.
Nash Johnson.
If we can just
Fourth
keep
and
doing what
three.
we're doing and not let them score, then I say we have this signed, sealed, delivered.
And you have to remember that on that last play, he did go out of bounds. So that will stop the clock, which is like an extra timeout for this defense, or for these Bulldogs, as Gelov is back under center.
This mighty flock.
And he is going by himself. He did get outside. He stiff-armed the man that came up on him, the cornerback,
Gelov
and got
keeps and picks
outside.
up a first
That
down.
is what I've been wanting to see out of Christian Gelov. I've seen it out of him.
His
But
legs
there
be
we go.
running, man.
Them legs be running.
Them legs be running.
If you have those legs pumping, you can probably get some extra yards. 1, 2, in that case, like 5. But
Left, right, keep going.
left, right, I've seen it from Baumgartner
One foot
multiple
in front of
times
the
this
other.
game.
Keep going.
As Dory might say, it's just keep swimming, but in this case, just keep running. And so Baumgartner gets the ball again, and it looks like they're
That's
just planning
Baumgartner.
to ice this game as of the moment, as with a 2nd and 6 facing
Tackled by
them,
number 48,
they
Nick
can
Holt.
just take some time off the clock. And, I mean, just, as they say, eat that clock. And if you can score a
Can you say something,
touchdown,
Matthew?
they can go up 21-0. And I would say that is 100% game. But we're going to have to see how, obviously, the rest of this drive goes, because if they do get a stop here, or they do get a fumble out of Baumgartner, which we have not seen this year,
Matthew, please tell me, what does the clock taste like?
It's
Hello.
it's
Fell
digital.
off.
Digital. There we go.
Digital's a flavor now, okay.
It tastes like chicken because everything tastes like chicken. And so Gelov just fell backwards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9. So they're going to probably run with Baumgartner on this one, as if they get, like, I could say 3 or 4 yards. They're back in field goal distance. So you could possibly go for that, but it is a 3rd and 9, so, I mean, the playbook's wide open. You've got a lot of options. Gelov does not. He throws it. Braden, excuse me, that is Max McGreal. He just, that play action was perfected.
Touchdown, Guerin Catholic.
Sure.
This offense has clearly taken off
Touchdown.
in this second
Eagles,
half.
in case you hadn't caught on to that part.
Complete to
Because we
Max
didn't say
McGreal.
touchdown, but there was a touchdown. It is now 20.
That's just so odd to kick the extra point
they
out
are
of the
setting
whole
up to kick to go for
Christian
that
ball.
extra point.
20-0 with the option of 21-0, which will be taken
If
by
there's
Etchison.
a flag thrown again for the second time when we were
That
setting
ball
up for
encroachment against North.
point.
But that was another offsides penalty on the defense. They jumped. I don't know why you're jumping, but they did jump.
I'm pretty sure every time we scored, there's been a flag thrown when we were going for the extra point.
Whether it went them, us, and now them again.
Good for us.
Yeah. It is definitely not bad for us, as
And
it
is
goes through the
right
uprights.
through.
21.
21-0.
Which that is
Zero.
great
Nada.
to
Extra
see
point
this
is good
game
with 3:01 left in the game.
for
This
Etchison,
Guerin
because
Catholic
going into
21,
next week, which is
Almost nothing.
homecoming, against Bishop
Homecoming.
Chatard.
Get your dress. No, wait, we don't have a dress. We have a party. Get your dress up costumes ready this week, Golden Eagles. It's homecoming week. He's ready for that.
But next week, that rivalry game, Bishop Chatard, Guerin Catholic. Bishop Chatard, they have only one loss this season, but that one loss was to, you have to remember, the almighty Cathedral, and Cathedral has, I mean, obviously, it's Cathedral. They've always been a great team. So, I mean, that loss is really, it is a loss in the books, but they played well that game. So we're gonna have to come out with all of our stops.
I predict it's going to be a very interesting and, well,
Luke Etchison
matchup.
kicking off for Guerin
A
Yeah.
tight
Catholic.
game. I'd
a
like to
tight
see that.
game, yeah. And that's always fun for homecoming. Makes it more interesting. We sure hope we win, though. It is the homecoming game here for
Under Huser on the kick
Columbus
return.
North. They had all of the homecoming court come out in their convertibles earlier.
They did have some
stop.
convertibles, some trucks, it almost looked like, you know, at the
Charles
Macy's Day Parade, you have those little floats.
Yes, the Macy's. Matthew, I'm not sure what Macy's Day Parade you're watching, but that one's a little bit bigger than this one.
The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, not the Macy's Day Parade. I don't think that's quite a thing, but it's like it's downscaled version. We'll go with that.
They're missing the giant turkey balloon, but other than that, it was pretty accurate.
Pretty accurate, you know. As he's passing again, this time it is complete over the middle.
A little drop and roll action there.
Hammond's pass complete to number 200.
Drop and roll.
That's good
He
for
was
a
zooming down the middle of the
touchdown.
field, so I mean, he was
Catching on fire from.
a little hot there, but that was the cornerback, Husser. And Husser, I mean, obviously, he had the big penalty on defense, which gave us a first down when it could have been a 3rd down 10.
Husser and Lofton have been the two of the main players in this. Another flag.
So there's a completion on the play. But there is a flag. It might be coming back. It could be a holding. But it could be a late hit on the quarterback.
To number
We're going to have
80,
to wait and see.
Wait. Hold up, everybody. There's a flag.
There are flags on the
But
play.
if
They
it,
thought it was going in. Now no one's really sure.
if it is one of each, though, they negate, and it's going to be the play stands. But it looks like there's a holding on the offense. But there's also a personal foul and roughing the passer. So both of the things I said, they both happen. So they negate each other. And it looks like they're replaying first down.
The penalty's offset. We will replay the down.
We could have brought up a 2nd down and 10, but that late hit, obviously it cost us that hold. It could have been it could have been 1st down and 20. Instead, it's going to be another 1st down and 10. And after that
Kind of like
long pass was negated, we'll see how they come back. And they're passing again, but he's scrambling, and he's got some room. Number 14, the quarterback, Hammonds.
With Hammonds carries well into Guerin Catholic territory.
I got it right for once.
Yes, you did. But Hammonds has some wheels to him, we just saw.
I got it right. Aren't you so proud of me, Matthew?
I am beyond happy for you.
Thank you for sharing in my joy.
As
First
there
time
is
I've actually gotten it right.
2 minutes and 21 seconds left in the 4th quarter, and this time Hammonds is getting sacked.
Down to the ground. He's kind of
Hammonds is
Jagger
sacked
Albert.
by number 28, Jagger Albert.
Jagger Albert. He jumped on and took him down. The ship sank. The Titanic happened. But that was a sack right there.
We've gone from Finding Dory to
we've got a wide range of things as that pass is incomplete.
To Titanic. We've got a whole range of movies going on right here.
Hammonds' pass intended for number 80.
Next thing you know, we're talking about football, and yet that is actually the thing we are talking about.
The only movies we haven't mentioned are ones that are about football, surprisingly.
But you have to think, as they're down 21 points, if they do get a touchdown, as they just got a great pass and catch right there. 24 Charlie Semler, but he could not deflect the ball. So it was complete, and that was a large gain. But they've got to have some tempo to their game and some urgency as they snap the ball again. Snap low, intended for number 88, and that is a touchdown. That is the first touchdown of the night for them.
15-yard touchdown pass.
It's good that they had a touchdown on homecoming night.
It's
but
going to be. I'm with a minute and 31 seconds left. Sorry, being specific there, but I'm not quite sure they're gonna have enough time to come back.
Mitchell Collier did make a very nice catch there, right there.
Possible.
So if they can string together a couple of those, that was a high kick. My goodness, that wasn't number 13 on that one. That was number 9, Spencer Rivers. He's a senior, and so he came out for that one, and he sailed that one through the uprights. I don't know if that one quite sailed. I think that one ended up sinking,
but okay, well it sailed and then it sunk, and technically everything that goes up in the air comes back down the ball.
Exactly. And right now,
it's a football.
Superman. Okay. But right now,
literally every genre of movies being referenced tonight.
Out on the field right after the touchdown, they were playing the Notre Dame fight song.
Why?
I don't know. They
Good
aren't even the
question.
Irish.
Not one to ask me because I don't know.
That is not an answer I can tell you, but there is an onside kick. And so I'm expecting this one to be recovered by McGinnis. Worst case scenario, actually, excuse me, McGinnis is on the other side. But it looks like it is.
Caught by number.
It's Guerin Catholic Ball. It's all we gotta say. And
18.
ooh, that one was
The onside
Danny
kick is
Rode.
fielded by Guerin Catholic's
He's
number
been
18,
a
Daniel
big part of this
Rode.
game tonight.
He's been all over the field, and he has in many
Defense, offense,
different good
back.
ways. And he's even helping out on special teams right there.
He's an all-around player.
He is an all-around player as there's a minute 30 left.
He's got the defense, he's got the offense, he's got the special teams, he's got them all.
That is what you need to play a good football game right there. And with a minute 30 left, Gelov is back under center with Baumgartner in the backfield as they're lined up on the right hash in the I formation. And it's hand off to Baumgartner, and Baumgartner gets about 2 yards. 2 more yards to add to his total. I don't think he quite got to 100 yards, but I think even though he didn't get 100 yards on the night, he still got some. He got that great touchdown run. You have to remember. And Baumgartner, after only getting 27 yards in the first half, he doubled that with that one touchdown run. Plus, you have to remember he's been running all this fourth quarter just to run out clock, and so that's going to add to his total.
And considering that this has been a primarily defensive game, where it's been very difficult for him to find holes or have really good blocks because it's been strong defense and offense, so it's pretty much canceling each other out. It's been difficult for him to be able to go anywhere.
So he has had a great game, even though, I mean, he has touched the ball, I'm pretty sure, like 24 times, which is still a lot. Even though one game he did get over 30 carries, which is a lot for those of you who do not know, for a high school running back. The Indiana, the running back who holds the Indiana record for the most yards, who plays at New Pal, he averages about that many carries per game. So, I mean, that just tells how much this offense trusts Gus Baumgartner as they hand off to him again. They do have a great reason to. He's getting yards. He's getting what they need him to do. And he's getting them to the point of where they can set up the play action, they can set up the passing game. He's an all-around player, but he plays at that running back position, and he opens up the entire game. He opens up the playbook, and that's something he did tonight.
Yeah, it is now 3-5 on the 47-yard line. There's a bit of discussion going on whether...
I think there was a timeout taken by the Bulldogs there. That was their last timeout, so they cannot stop the clock again this game.
A minute and 21 seconds left with 21-7. Golden Eagles winning. It is also Golden Eagles ball. This has been an interesting night.
There have been, that first quarter there were some turnovers, but then they started cleaning the game up a little bit. Overall, they just kind of brought everything together, and that mesh that they had going, they played like a brotherhood. They played together, and they picked each other up. If you're dancing with me, thank you.
Matthew's got the moves like Jagger, ladies and gentlemen.
You know who else does? Gus Baumgartner as he's dancing, and he gets taken back by number 47. And so that is going to give that's going to give this Columbus North team about 45 seconds, if that, probably about 30 to 35 seconds to do anything with the ball if they choose to do that. I would not be surprised if I just see them end the game with a kneel. But we're gonna see. I guess. I mean, we've got 40 seconds left, so we're gonna see. I guess I could say how this plays out, but I feel like I almost know the ending to this one. And Guerin lets the clock run all the way down.
Guerin Catholic.
And they call a timeout just to let the
game.
clock go to 33 seconds left. And then they're going to punt this. And it's not that they're going to give this Bulldogs team a chance at scoring, because I do not think that they're going to go for the end zone. If they do, I mean, they've got a chance if they can get a Hail Mary off or just even a hook and ladder or something where they can get it off immediately, they can get a touchdown, and with like 15 seconds left, they can go for the onside kick. This is all very improbable, but it's all possible.
Anything is possible when you believe.
Exactly. If you really want to quote a movie, you can quote a movie.
We've quoted like 50 movies tonight. Maybe any of you listening, if you're still there, I hope you are. And if you've been here for a long time, if you want to, you can make a list of all the movies we've quoted. Don't be really bored.
So thank you for tuning in tonight as we have 33 seconds left in the game.
There were some technical difficulties for a little while with the camera, but they got figured out at halftime, so that's good. That's always great when you get that figured out.
And so it's 4th down and 8, and they're throwing. Gelov is throwing deep to McGinnis, and McGinnis, it's just out of his reach. But they're not going to throw a flag there, even though there might have been a little bit of contact. But with what is going on, with the time at 26 seconds left, and it's going to be 1st down for Columbus North. I don't know what they're going to do with this right now, but
there's not a lot they can do. Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff they can do, but like, not much is going to happen because there's only 26 seconds left. 26.9 seconds left. With 21-7.
So even though
I believe in miracles as much as the next person, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to pull out a win tonight.
And so Hammonds is looking for the deep ball, and it is almost intercepted.
Hit right in the face
but
of the ball.
Ryan Glenn, he got his hands up. I thought that was going to be completed and go for a touchdown, but he did tip the ball, and it fell incomplete. But
only took like 5 seconds. It's
been an eventful game tonight.
Very eventful. Coming down to these last few seconds, it's just like bam, bam, bam. Everything's happening very quickly.
Which, in my opinion, kind of slowly after the last minute. The last snap was fumbled. It was picked up, but the clock is just going to roll, and they're letting it roll to 0. And thank you for tuning in for the game.
That's the end of the game. Final score, Guerin Catholic 21, Columbus North 7.
It is the final score, 21-7.
And
tonight, we thank you for tuning in. I'm Matthew Wagner.
I am Maris Bolger.
And thank you for everything.
7:30 p.m. Again,
Good night.
7:30 p.m. kickoff next week for Guerin at home against Chatard.
They may not
North's next game is also 1 week from tonight.
And we thank you for everything tonight.
The Patriots will kick off at 7:30 p.m.